Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's Mark from Powersonic and Apprentice 121. Today we're going to be having a look at something that is a very common problem for electricians out there, and that is LED lighting. Over the years since LED first came out, we have had so many examples of these things going wrong, either straight out the box, not very long after it been installed out of the box, and then some lasting for years and years. It seems so hit and miss. However, on this particular job, we've had an LED light that we purchased probably a year ago. It's been replaced twice under warranty and they have all failed in exactly the same way. So in this video, I'm going to share a product that we've bought from CEF, and this is an Xcite floodlight. There's a few exciting features on that, and just to say that this video has been made for my good friend Kieran Jenkins, who runs the lighting division over there at Xcite. And we wanted to do a bit of content to help those guys and girls in the very competitive market space that is LED lighting. There's very much a drive towards getting prices lower and lower and lower. And we see out in the field of things with the recalls and the repair work, the warranty replacements, the result of that, because with every reduction in price, generally something is taken out of the product and these things become more prone to going wrong. So I'm going to show you this one. This is the Flood CC, and this is from Xcite. This particular one is a 10-watt floodlight, and it has a microwave sensor in it. It's also got a remote control, and just to say, it wasn't that expensive. It's around £25 plus VAT from cities. And in the world of lighting, you can go off to some of these, how should we call them, the kind of DIY sheds that are blue and yellow and a bit of red in colour. They have these on the shelf for sort of £10–15 or so, and these are typically the ones that, you know, we've had issues with, where customers have purchased their own and asked us to pop some floodlights up for them, and then they go wrong. So I'm going to show you this one out of the box, and already you can feel the weight of this. This is one of the things I noticed. We've got another floodlight from a different brand over there. I'm not going to bring it into shot to do them any discredit, but the weight difference between this product and their product is noticeable. This is a fair bit heavier. Obviously, when you're installing these, you don't want them to weigh an absolute ton. It's still not going to drag your arm to the floor or anything, but it just feels like there's more quality in it. Bigger heatsink on the back, most likely, and some more reliable and weighty electronics inside is my hope. I'm pinning my hopes on you, Kieran, here, so don't let me down. But you can see there's a metal gland in the bottom there for your cable entry. It comes with a nice length lead on there. It's not a real tiny lead. And it is ferruled, so should this happen to be something like the right length, the ends are already ferruled. Now we're going to send this out to site with my coming into fourth year apprentice, Nathan, who's going to go and install this on one of our customers' homes. We're going to set him loose with a simple task of replacing this floodlight. Nathan's an absolute superstar. Some say it is rumoured he is the true Sparky ninja. The kid is an absolute powerhouse on roofs around the UK doing solar, and this should be absolute bread and butter to him. The thing that is going to test Nathan is I've asked him to produce some content on this, and that in the past, for those of you who've watched the channel before, when I've asked Matthew and Nathan in particular to get me some content around installs they're doing, hasn't always led to the greatest quality of video, shall we say. Lots of beer guts, backside cracks, and not a lot of footage of what they're actually doing. Sometimes on purpose, lots of times by accident. So fingers crossed, Nathan's going to do us proud on this one. We've also got, if I can dig it out of the box, a remote control on this. Now that's an added benefit here, and the reason we've gone for this is the light that's failed. It's done the typical of either strobing on and off at random times, or locking on and staying on, and then the customer's got to go and switch it off at the light switch, mess around with it. When it was first installed, we had to go back and adjust the sensitivity after a couple of days because it was been activated too often. With this remote control, our elderly customer can make all of those changes from ground level without having to go anywhere near it. So you can adjust its mode if you want it to be on overnight all the time, if you want it to be operating during daylight, or if you want it to be on and activated in the hours of darkness. You can set the duration on there, as you can see, from 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 2 minutes and 10 minutes. You can adjust the brightness. So if you're installing this somewhere where it's pointing at a neighbouring property, for example, and you just want to take the edge off the glare from it, you can do that. Or if it's your front door and you've got a big driveway you're trying to illuminate and you don't want decorative lighting, again, you don't have to blind people, you do have that option. And there's 3 colour lighting modes as well. So we've got daylight white, warm white and natural white is my assumption on that. And most importantly, there is the sensitivity adjustment on the remote control. So typically what you get with these is when you've installed them, the usual complaint is that cats are setting it off overnight, for example, or if it's out on a driveway that faces the street, people walking past are setting it off all the time as well. So having that on a simple remote where you're not going up looking with your glasses in the dark trying to adjust sensitivity dials, that is a big win. So I like that. There's a couple of little cardboard pouches in here and I'm not going to open them because I know full well myself or Nathan will lose them before he gets to site, but one feels very much like some sort of bracket. We'll have a look in the instructions at the minute, and the other fixings. So we've got a good selection in there, and I'm going through this to take that stress away for Nathan so he doesn't have to run through the product on site. He can just put the camera to a side to him and install it, and I will probably end up voicing it over. The instruction of things, you can see what's in there. So there's a little mounting plate that you can pop onto the wall if you need to, and then you can screw the bracket into that, or obviously you can screw that bracket straight onto the wall as well as you would traditionally. Having the bracket on there allows you the option of rotation. So if you pop that little bracket on and you want the floodlight on an angle pointing to the side of a driveway or whatever, you can do that, and there's a little locking nut on there as well. Otherwise, it just runs through what the remote controls do. So pop that up there. I'll just give them a quick scan to make sure I did that. Yeah, so you've got daylight mode, which is the floodlight operates via the microwave sensor if it's dark or not. Night mode, the floodlight operate with a microwave sensor when it's at night. And the photocell mode, it's just on dusk till dawn. And you've got your duration, your brightness, the colour code, and your sensitivity. And that's kind of it. So I think, without any further ado, we should put this into Nathan's hands and we can take it off out to site and he'll run through the installation and we'll maybe jump back at the end and see what we think. Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's Mark from PowerSonic and Apprentice 121. Today we're going to be swapping this barrel light up here. It's been up there for a good while and it was never really suitable for this location. It is in and amongst the bins. I'll show you when we spin the camera around. This is one on my house. Everything you see in here is paid and bought for fair and square. It's nothing paid or sponsored. A few people have raised issue with that. I forgot my keys to get into the house. The dogs are barking, going wild. Everyone else is out. So I thought, well, I've got 5 minutes. Let's swap this. So I'm going to grab some tools and we get on with it. So in this one, we're using the Xcite CCTK. It's colour adjustable, so you've got some options in the light output colouring. You can also adjust the sensitivity if you want it to be on all night, or if you want it on all of the time, or if you want it to utilise the microwave sensor built into it. This is loaded with options. They are not expensive either. I got it from CEF online. Absolutely fantastic product. We've fitted a few of these with great success. The world of LED lighting is one of those things that frustrates us massively as installers, but this is one of the options we recommend. I'm going to show you how we get it on the wall, and then we'll run through how it operates. One of the things I like with Xcite is most of the packaging all comes in recyclable materials. So you can see there is a little adjustable bracket that comes here, so if you want to pop this on the wall and be able to rotate it, that is what that is for. So you can set your light to different angles. And again, we've got the cardboard little recyclable envelope for the fixings as well, which are also supplied. And in this case, you can see you get your little bolt However, if you're wanting to utilise said bracket, we're not going to be doing that in this case, but we do have 3 wall plugs, our screws and washers that we need, so we can get that fixed back to the wall nice and secure. I'll get on with that now. So you can see that's got it set into the on position. You can set it to be just overnight, and then if you see on the front there, there is one as well, which is basically a microwave detector overnight as well. If you want, you can adjust it from daylight white to warm white and to natural white. So there's different colour options. You can also increase the brightness and the sensitivity. So if we think that's a bit bright, we want to dim it down. We can dim it right down. That's the minimum dim. And then if we want it really super duper bright, don't know how that's coming across on camera, but it is adjusting. It might actually display better with the warm white. I think that shows up better on camera. So if we dim that right down, you can see there, we're getting an adjustment, which is great. So all from the comfort of a remote control. And equally with the sensitivity, you can see there's really sensitive, what I would call medium, and then just a little bit. And I'm going to set this to the maximum sensitivity because of people walking up from each end of this space. I don't know quite where it's going to pick them up. So we'll have it set to maximum. There's no one really crossing the boundary of the property for it to be overactivated. And you need to see where you're going when you come to the bins. There's plenty of tilt adjustment on it, so I'm going to set that so it's sort of right down just on this little drive passage area. We'll give those a little nip up in just a second, and I'm going to leave it set to the night mode. So this is this one here where it's going to be detecting it's not always on. If you want to swing out of those modes, it's just a case of pressing the remote and then we can turn it back on. You always get the double flash to say that it's received the command, which is useful to know. If you want it on dusk till dawn, so that's basically going to put it so it's always on when it's dark, you can do that as well. And if you want it set, as I just have left it now, to this end one, that's going to be the most common application, I would think. And that is now ready to go. Just to show you the manual, so you can see here it gives you a full instruction which explains how that little mounting bracket works with the bolt that comes with it, and then you've got your adjustment in terms of up and down. It's your atypical light fitting that we're all used to installing, but with the added benefit of the remote control. And the big benefit of that is normally you would have a little detector on the underside of the outside light, or even on some of the microwave detectors where they're on the rear side of them, and you have to get up steps to go and adjust them. The height this is, you could actually reach and do it, but if you've got people who don't like going onto steps or accessibility issues, these are absolutely ideal. And we've actually popped one of these onto my mum's house because they're not the most mobile there, and it's a really easy way for them to be able to make changes to the sensitivity, the brightness, based on their use. I should say you also get options in terms of the duration. So you've got 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 2 minutes and 10 minutes. As a further bit of excitement, I am working out with this new Tough Built bag. The pack out goes in the van, but this is great as a grab bag. So you can see you've just got a basic set of hand tools in there. We've got the Klein Tools drivers. These are the ones that spin around, so there's posi and flat blade on the actual screwdriver itself. Got some spanners, water pump pliers, croppers, the hammer, and also a driver, SDS, and impact. Obviously PPE, so your ear defenders, glasses and gloves. And it's all on a little trolley, which is super handy. It's got the nice chunky wheels on the back. They're doing a great job. Got all the pens and Klein tool, Allen keys and such in the side pockets. Tape measure on there. And I have got loads of the pouches and belts. I've had Tough Built for absolutely years. If you're looking at bags, there's all the fancy brands where they cost you like 200 odd quid a pop. These aren't that money. They're what I would call a reasonable level. So you're getting good value and it's hard wearing, long lasting. I've got the rucksack that you'll have seen maybe me using on the channel before. I'll try and drop a picture in alongside this little clip here so you can see that. And like I say, loads of the pouches that you can put on your belts, clip onto these and store them away if you need to bring more gear onto the job. You can. Show you the light a bit closer up. So you can see there it's looking the absolute business. I still need to just tighten these up, so I will just do that in a sec, but otherwise that's on the wall. Just to mention the whisker box on there, I mounted it sideways purely because I was trying to cover up some existing fixing holes in the wall, and that is the only size box I had in the van. This is my house, I'm happy with utilising that. There is a little drain hole in the bottom. Ordinarily we'd have it mounted the other way around, just so the stuff on the side, you know, is on the bottom of the actual thing, but it's hidden out of sight. I'm not fussy about that, and it looks neat and tidy. If I show you from this way on, you get a better perspective on it. I think that came up okay. You can obviously, if you want, mount the light just above, just below. I went for below because it was an easier way of getting the cable entry into the gland with having a drip loop, so it's not tracking down the cable into the back of the stuffer and then into that enclosure, but personal choice. So there we go, a bread and butter install of an outside light. This is something electricians do day to day and week to week. There is no rocket science to it. Please do take into account that all safe isolation and testing has been done. Alongside this video, I can't share every single aspect at every single job, but if you want to see demos of safe isolation and test procedures, there is loads of those videos on my channel. Please do dig back into them and take a look. Otherwise, I'm really happy with this Xcite microwave detector LED light. I'm just going to reference back to the instructions again so I don't make a hash of what it actually is in terms of its name. So the product name is the Xcite Flood CC with microwave sensor, and this is the colour change one, hence the CC I imagine, and it's a 20 watt variation. It starts in the 10 watt category, and I think they're about 25-ish quid on CEF. Including the remote and all of those. I think that is excellent value for money. The 20 watt variant is 35 to 40, I can't remember exactly, but still, it's absolutely cracking value. They feel really weighty, they feel high quality, and we'll see in the fullness of time how long these last. We've had some really bad experiences with LED lighting of late where we're going back swapping them inside 6 months to a year, which is ridiculous. So I'm very hopeful that this lasts a bit longer. And one of the key points I've noticed in the whole Xcite range, because we've fitted a few of the products the last few weeks, is the recyclable packaging. Every single part of it is recyclable. There's no plastics in there. You've got paper envelopes, cardboard packaging. They've really thought about that. So that's a massive thumbs up from me. And I noticed. If you've got any questions in and around this video, as always, please do drop them in below. I'll leave a link to the CEF website where you can go and purchase one of these products yourself if you want. There's no discount code, unfortunately, and I'm not on any kind of commission for making that recommendation, but I do, I rate this product. I wouldn't pop it in there if I didn't. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.